Hello, welcome to Cool Discussions. Today we're going to talk about something that's been in the news. A couple of YouTubers, we'll call them YouTubers, I guess.
Yeah.
The one is for sure a YouTuber, PewDiePie. I don't really know much about that guy.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him, but I've never watched his videos.
I've never watched his videos.
He doesn't really appeal.
This is how we can. A great way to start, because this shows us the lens of PewDiePie through the media, because it's the only exposure we've ever had.
I only watched his one video, like his rebuttal to this whole situation, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about the Milo Yiannopoulos situation. He's been in the news. He's always in the news because of he's a
provocateur.
He's definitely controversial. I use that in quotations because I don't know what that means. Controversial. I know what it means. Okay, I'm not stupid, but I don't understand why he would be controversial.
Things, yeah.
So Milo Yiannopoulos, if you don't know, he's a speaker.
He's a Brett Bart. He was a Brett Bart editor. He used to do tech, but he also talked about many other things on.
He's an author. He has a tour around universities talking about.
His university tour was called the Dangerous Faggot Tour. Look it up. Trust me, it was like, wow, he's using the F word.
I watched
F word.
I watched some of his stuff, and
I've watched.
I'm
pretty sure all of them. And
I don't see how he's controversial. He's coming up as controversial right now because he's made a statement. He's come. The media has portrayed him as supporting child molestation.
Yes, he's basically they're saying he supports pedophilia.
Yes.
Okay. So he had a news conference. He basically said he had a news conference about this whole thing, and he came out and, like anybody, he's like, I don't support pedophilia. I think child molestation is a really horrible thing, and he himself was a victim of child molestation. And we all understand that when you are directly involved in certain things, you have a greater leeway to express.
Well, you express it in your own way. You know what I mean? You deal with trauma in your own way.
Yeah, and he definitely deals with trauma that he's aware of now, but at the time he wasn't. Yeah. So
he made a joke about being better at giving head because of his priest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this was like a clip from him on an interview with Joe Rogan, and
actually, that was the drunken. Oh, was it the Joe Rogan? I thought it was a drunken peasants that he said.
The head one was the Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
The young older man, boy thing was the drunken peasant. Now, these things have been on the internet for about a year, maybe longer. The drunken peasant one was like last January 2016, right? So that's over a year. I did watch that one to give a sense of
context view of it.
Yeah, and it was a whole hour, 40-minute talk between five guys, and they're talking with Milo about him being
the drunken
Milo.
peasants is like the amazing atheist, the luchador guy. I don't even know the other guys.
The only one I recognized was the amazing atheist, and I won't watch the Drunken Peasants again, not unless I have to do it for a show, because I just didn't find it worthwhile.
Are they actually drunk on the show? I don't even
know.
I just saw the clips. Like I watched Philip DeFranco's breakdown of the whole Milo PewDiePie situation, and I watched a couple other ones. And
I watched breakdown videos as well, but I also watched the Drunken Peasant, the whole thing, beginning to end, and in my personal opinion, watching it, I get no sense that Milo is talking about it's good for an older man to molest a younger man.
Yeah, I didn't 100% get that either. He said that, but I can understand. I see why people are taking, because he said he believes that it's good for people to, especially in the gay community, to have as a younger gay man an older.
He was specifically talking about the gay community. He was saying that an older man taking care of a young boy. He said these words: young boy.
But in like
right there, I could see the whole mix.
Because young boy, when you think of young boy, you think
13-year-old.
Yeah,
which was.
But I guess in the gay community, they use boy in a looser
much looser sense,
much grander scale.
Yeah, and I got that because, you have boy toys, and a boy toy is basically an older man dating a younger man. And they just call them boy toys.
Well, the age of consent in Canada is, what, 16?
Right? 14 to 16, because 14 within a certain age range, 16 over 18. So
okay, to me, it's weird if you're like a 30-year-old man trying to get with a 16-year-old person, or if you're a 30-year-old woman trying to get with a 16-year-old boy, you're a little bit weird. It's more of a, to me, that comes across as a, you want to assert your power, you want to use your as kind of a more as a dominance thing in my mind. So it's weird to me. Mm-hmm. But if you're the age of consent and you can give consent by the law, then we have these laws in place for a reason. So what's
and Milo specifically states that the age of consent where he is from, which is 16 in Britain, he said it was about right. Yeah. Because in some cases, a 16-year-old, there are some 16-year-olds that shouldn't be allowed to leave the house, let alone being able to give consent.
There's some 30-year-olds that shouldn't be allowed to leave the house.
Exactly, and then I think that was the understanding I got. Like, that whole conversation he had about old men.
He did mention a 13-year-old boy at one point.
Yeah, he did. And at that point in time, he was, in the press conference, he was saying that this was him. He wasn't saying
he was using his
experiences. It was using him. He just didn't really want to say it was him because he at that point in time, I don't think he had ever told his parents, and he didn't really want his parents to find out through a YouTube video.
Internet.
Yeah, through the internet that he had actually been...
all the people who supported and were in business with Milo have every right to say, we don't want to associate with you anymore because of these comments. And we're not sitting here being like, these businesses are assholes. They have every right to do that.
And this is one of the... We talked about it on Tuesday.
Free speech.
This is a consequence of his free speech. He lost a book deal. He decided to step down from Bart because he didn't want to cause any more shit to be splattered all over that name. Because Bret Bart, honestly, is not well respected by the mainstream media.
Mainstream, who cares? It's media.
They shit on him all the time. So he wanted to distance himself because he didn't want him. If he's going down, he didn't want to take people with him, which was a good thing. Now he accepted responsibility for what he said. He says, "Yeah, I said these things. A lot of what I said was being taken out of context, and." You can honestly edit things to make...
Isn't it, like, this is where the free speech thing is saying, like, you're for, I support, I'm okay with pedophilia. Is that a crime?
Molesting children is, yes.
No, but, doing it is a crime, yes. I get that, but saying, I'm okay with it, is that a crime?
No, it's not.
It makes you fucked up.
It does.
I do not support it.
It's one of those things of, you're okay with people sleeping with animals. Sleeping with animals is technically against the law.
It's weird.
But to say you're okay
if we have an age of consent law of 16 years old in Canada, say, okay, and somebody who is 30 sleeps with a 16-year-old that says, yes, I want to have sex with you. Who are we to tell them that they can't have a relationship?
Allowed according to the law, and that's what it is. If you want to state otherwise, well, that's your right. You can state otherwise, but our law states.
But it's their right of age of consent to sleep within.
If you're not okay with the law, well, then you need to petition to have it changed, and that's what it comes down.
You know what I mean? Like, so to me, it comes across as a little bit of a lynching of this Milo guy because of his...
Well, I think he made a very valid point. Why did they wait until this point?
Yeah.
Because the stuff had been out there for at least a year, and now all of a sudden they're doing it because he has a voice. He has a very loud voice.
His voice was getting louder.
Yeah, a lot of people are listening.
And it's still getting louder. He's going to be okay. Like, he's not going to... this isn't gonna ruin him.
No, definitely.
He's gonna be okay. Like Milo's gonna be okay. Like do I agree with some of his sentiments? Yes. Do I disagree? Yes. But he has every right to peacefully go around and speak. Yeah. Like if we decided we wanted to go on tour and talk in front of people, we could do it. If people want to come see us, then they
honestly,
can come see us.
I have no idea why people are complaining about any of his speeches. As I said, I'm pretty sure I've watched them all. And he doesn't say... actually, he says one thing that pissed me off. He's like, "Oh, we should get rid of anime." It's like, "Fuck you, Milo." Done. That's it. I'm done with it. No, he said that in one of those in part of his speech, and it was like, really? That's the part that pisses me off. But he's talking about immigration. He's talking about laws. He's talking about people, just all kinds of things.
He's using free speech.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
And he does it with a sense of humor. That's what I found, was he was trying to be funny, and he comes across as being funny. Ben Shapiro does the same thing. He's a very dead tone person, but he has that little subtle sense of humor that, if you're British, is really funny. For non-British people, it's still funny, but not necessarily as funny.
But hey, at the same time, it's your right to it is your right to speak out against him. I guess, but you can't have what he says banned.
No,
that's the thing in free speech. It is your right to say whatever you want. It is your right to rebuttal that, and it's your right to associate who you want to associate with. You know what I mean? That's the whole big free speech thing. Is that everybody can say, but there's consequences to what you say, and you would choose to associate who you want to associate with. So if you have a bigger voice, obviously people want to associate with you. But if your voice says something, then they don't want to associate with you. But the line that you cross is if you try to ban somebody from speaking their mind. If you don't want somebody to speak, if you don't want their voice to be big, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Don't watch their videos.
Like
don't.
PewDiePie. He has what? 53
million subscribers.
Wow. And yeah, that's mind-boggling. That's his thing. It's like, he is a comedian. He does satire. He's satire. Yes.
Now, I'm not totally up to snuff on what happened.
Yeah, this is why we left him for the last little bit, is because I've never watched a video.
No,
but
I watched the one video of him because I went to the popular part on YouTube, and it was like the second or third one, so I was like, what is this? So I watched it, and I think he was chastised, and he was dropped by Disney.
Yep.
Because
he lost a big contract.
He has white supremacists who follow him, and he has beliefs to be supported by the support white supremacy or something. And it's like, okay, like I said, I've never seen the context of what he's talking about,
and I've seen some of that context. I think what he's doing is he's pushing a boundary just to see how far he can push it.
He did one video in a Hitler outfit, I guess.
He also did some. You gotta. This is the way you have to edit videos, and he used one of Hitler's speeches that he had given as the editing part. Is like, oh yeah, do this, and then the Hitler would show up on the screen and talking in the German about a speech of some sort, and then it's like, you do the little edit thing, and then you throw it to YouTube, and he was doing it just to be a provocateur. And I think his whole thing was like, he went to one site to have this site make a video for him, and on the video it says "Death to all the Jews." Some guy unfolded a piece of paper and it said "Death to all the Jews," and then that, I think, that was what spurred this whole thing. And it's just like, it was a context. He wanted to see if he could do it, and just what kind of censorship is involved.
I think we need to it's amazing how big of a voice everyone can have with social media, like the power of social media. But sometimes I think we're using it in a bad way. We should be using it in ways to petition our leaders, quote, because I'll use that term very loosely, to do better for the whole, not to try to ruin people. I think sometimes these social justice warriors, we They try to ruin people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because they
don't try. In some cases,
because they're offended by their opinions and
Yeah.
they're offended by their words. Like I don't. Here I go again on this broken record train, but I don't understand how words can hurt people. How can words break you? How can
words can build you up? They can break you down. They can give you hope. They can take it away. So
I think that you, if you're confident enough in who you are as a person and what you believe in, then no matter what anybody says, it shouldn't deter you from doing that. You know what I mean? If you're a strong meat eater and you're like, I love eating meat, I eat hamburgers, blah blah, then don't let somebody who has the opposite of you. I use those type of examples because when you use other examples, like race examples, religion examples, emotion comes into it.
Yeah,
and when you
does.
put emotion into something, like when you there's like triggers, and this is why like these people have been ruined, have had part of their careers hurt, is because you use words like child abuse, child molestation, pedophilia, white supremacist, racism, Hitler. These are all words that are like that will demonetize you on YouTube.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And these are all triggers for people to bring their emotion, because when you hear child molestation, you get mad.
Yep.
You get angry. You're like, your blood boils, and you're like, I hate this. How can this person say this? But if you put it in a situation, and I've always done it. If you watch your shows, I've always tried to take and like a metaphor for the situation that we're trying to, like, when you look at a meat eater and a vegetarian, and that doesn't incite too much emotion. You know what I mean? Or when you look at sports teams, it's okay to hate other sports teams. It incites a little bit of emotion. Obviously, people have fought over it, but you know what I mean? And it's like, you gotta try and take the emotion out of situations like this. Yes, did what Milo said, was it offensive? Well, yeah, if it offends you, then yes, it's offensive.
In which case, you hit unsubscribe.
Yeah, you go unsubscribe,
you're done
unfollow,
with it.
and okay, done.
Move on.
Move on with your life. Don't let it ruin your life. You know what I mean?
And don't try to ruin somebody else's life in the process.
Has he committed a crime? You know what I mean? Has he? No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think anywhere he's committed a crime. So, you know, maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical. Maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical of what I'm saying there, but because it is your right to unfollow him and unsubscribe and not support him. Mm-hmm. But don't ruin him. Is that hypocritical?
No. No, but because you removing yourself from his sphere isn't ruining him. It's your choice. And if
it gets ruined on the way,
then that's his fault. Ruined because of it,
there you go.
That's his fault.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now.
Right? Yeah. But, you know, totally. I think we'll leave you with this. Is like somebody said, religion is like having a penis. It's great to have one. You can be proud to have one. Just don't whip it out in public and expect me to like it.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
See ya.